You asked for it. Here it is. It's a podcast from Apathetic Enthusiasm.
Oh, we're all locked in our homes on a brand new Apathetic Enthusiasm.
That's right. Such an exciting intro. I don't know if you forgot that you needed to say something there.
No, I thought about it, but I didn't really have anything planned. And we're gonna wing it. We're gonna wing it. Hello, everybody. I'm Travis.
Hey, everybody. I am Brandon, and
welcome to the podcast. Welcome to Apathetic Enthusiasm. We have tons and tons and tons of things to talk about as we do every Monday night. But especially right now. And so we're coming to you live from the same places that we always do our podcasting in our home offices.
Yes.
Yeah. And those are definitely more than 6 feet apart from each other. So we're totally fine. And hopefully you guys are doing fine as well. We want to know how you're doing, and there are lots of ways that you can let us know that over on Twitter at Apathusiast. Brandon is at Barnyard Cruise. I'm at Jugglemino. You can follow along on Facebook at facebook.com/Apathetic Enthusiasm Show, or send us an email, apatheticenthusiasmshow@gmail.com. We're also on Instagram, apathetic_enthusiasm. And then this podcast and all of our other podcasts and crazy sideways adventures exist over at apatheticenthusiasm.com. And the chat is starting to fill up as people watch us live over on Twitch at twitch.tv/apatheticenthusiasm, and over on YouTube at youtube.com/apatheticenthusiasm. You guys, I want to know how you're doing. As we have this conversation, we're gonna be looking at that chat and see your inputs and the things that you guys are thinking about. Brandon, how you feeling? How are things?
Hey, I'm feeling all right this second. Things are good. It's funny. We talked last week about my social anxiety, and we it was probably one of the few episodes in the history of the show where I really opened up and show a different side of me, that where I'm actually honest, and I'm not like just I'm glossing over my feelings.
Black. Hey, look at me. I'm a Brandon. Hoopla-doo.
Yeah, it's like, here's my flaws. I suck at being around lots of people, and here we are the following week talking about how no, that's probably beneficial to ultimately my survival and the survival of the family.
This week on a very serious Apathetic Enthusiasm. We are, of course, talking about the coronavirus, COVID-19, the illness of many names, but very, very serious thing that's been going on for months now, but has fully settled in the United States, where we both live. And very quickly, it seems like sometimes by the hour, we're just escalating and things are ramping up. So we want to talk about it. I mean, we've talked in the past about things that are going on current event wise, but we're going to take a look at how it's impacting us personally, as well as how it is impacting some of the things that we usually talk about on this show, whether that's movies, events, things like that. We're gonna cover a lot of it. But if you're listening live, let us know what you're thinking. Maybe we'll take some questions towards the end, or consider your comments, things like that. So Brandon, what?
Yeah, Travis. Are you juggling? What is
yeah Jugglemino? That's me. I want to just start like, so there was a point for me in the last week where coronavirus went from like a thing I was aware about, but was kind of just like, people get sick, whatever, to all of a sudden being like, oh my gosh, like this is legit. Things are escalating, and it's happening right here. And I spent like a day being like overly depressed about it. And I feel like that happened for me exactly 24 hours before it happened for you, because we went through about a 48-hour period where we were, one of us was in this funk where we're like, we're gonna be stuck in our house for the whole year. Like, what are we gonna do? I don't have enough hand soap. Uh,
Yeah.
so
Well,
how did that process or present itself for you?
all that changed when you said, you should buy a bidet. And I said, all right. And then I did. I went to Amazon immediately and I bought a bidet. And I'm like, you know, I should splurge. I should splurge for myself and for my butthole. And it's right. It's a good thing I did because they're all sold out everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Who needs excessive amounts of toilet paper when you've got just a steady stream of water going directly into your bunghole?
Well,
Who I mean,
have you installed it? Have you received it? Have you installed it?
yeah, I've installed it. I sat there for like 5 minutes, just like with a steady stream, going like, how long am I supposed to use this?
Forever.
And like my eyes started blinking. I'm doing too long. I think.
You may have it turned up too high if it's coming out your eyeballs. Yeah. I want, okay. Let's have this conversation for a minute because
All right.
I haven't really had this conversation with anyone other than the people I'm locked up with. I mean, that I get to spend quality time with.
It's bidet talk, right?
Yeah, it's close to bidet talk. It's
Okay.
it's toilet paper hoarding talk, and I guess my question is why? And I've spent some time thinking about it, but I'm just still so confused why the intent for people was, let me get out to that store, let me fill my cart with toilet paper, and get out of there in massive lines, possibly exposing themselves to airborne viruses. But why toilet paper, Brandon? Why?
Well, I think this goes back. I talked about this on a post stream. I think either Friday or Monday. I talked to my mom, and she's near LA. She's in close to LA, whatever. And the story was that she went to a store and she was just out of toilet paper at the house. She just she's like, I need toilet paper for my butthole because I'm gonna poop eventually. My mom poops. I don't like to think
Yeah,
about it, but it's true.
everybody does it, Brandon.
It's true.
Everybody poops.
So she goes to the first store. There's nothing there. The shelves are empty. She's like, shit. Okay. She goes to the second store. Damn it! I just want some toilet paper. She goes to the third store, and then finally she goes to a fourth store, and that is where she finds that they have toilet paper on the shelves, and she thinks to herself, well, if it's this hard to get toilet paper in the future, I should just stock up on a couple extra packages here. And that in lies the probably what I think is kind of the root of that. Not that people are panicking, but people really want to wipe their butt with that TP. And when they see that there's a demand for something, and that demand has basically made the shelves barren, then they're like, well, if it's this bad right now, then I should probably just stock up on a couple extra. And those people just it kind of just uh, cascades, and eventually people are like, "Hey, chill out about the toilet paper, people. Oh, maybe you should have started wiping your ass before." Like it's not necessarily panicking, but it's just people preparing. And
Yeah. I guess I feel like it was just like it was an item that people maybe went too quickly, and then it snowballed from there. And I between toilet paper and then like Clorox wipes, those are the things that, or any kind of like Lysol type stuff. Those were the things that seemed to go really quickly. That and like maybe hand sanitizer. But I mean, like, supply chains haven't stopped. I don't
no,
think they're gonna stop. For the most part, unless we can't get certain things that come from places that are terribly affected by the virus. But yeah, I don't know. I will say the bidet move was quality. We've gone through almost no toilet paper in my household. So and we had made a Costco run like a week before. So we are set. Please don't come and attack my
And
house and try to take my toilet paper. But there are those people, and we've seen the pictures online of people that ran out and like hoarded a ton of it with the intent of reselling it at a higher price. They thought, hey, maybe I can make a quick buck here, and
like the hand sanitizer dudes.
yeah, but those guys are not. They're not finding their market. A lot of
No,
people are like, boo, not cool.
well, no, like I think there's a married couple, and then there's those brothers who they made a hefty sum of money reselling those things before they were forced to stop. And now those brothers who did the hand sanitizer, they're being uh, highly recommended to donate those bottles. But capitalism is what capitalism does, and people will bank off an emergency. Like I opened up an E-Trade account, and I'm just waiting. I'm waiting for the airlines to bottom out so I can buy. But here's the thing. Like with this whole back in like January, February, I went on February. I went on a work trip, and I was in the London airport or London Gatwick, and I was talking to my boss in the one of the lounges. And this is like when it wasn't a huge thing. Like it was
It
happening in
was
China.
like just in China for the
Yeah,
most part. Yeah.
yeah. And and he and I were talking, and I kind of was he was a little bit more uh anxious about it, and I was like, oh, well, this might be a thing, but we'll see about it. And about like a week and a half later, I thought I was driving to work, and I thought, you know what, we should start figuring out a telework policy. And this like at the beginning of February. I'm like, "Ah, maybe we should start figuring out like a telework policy." And when I said that out loud, and I said it to a couple people, still wasn't a big deal yet, and everyone was just kind of like, "Oh, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
whatever."
Right. Sure. Okay.
And
This guy.
I'm kind of mad at myself now that I wasn't more proactive with it and pushed for it a little bit harder, uh, because here we are. And like this last week, everyone was like, "Well, do we have computers that we can that we can loan out to people? And do we have enough mobile devices to, you know?" And it's like this is the stuff that I had asked about, and then everyone just kind of like, "Oh, Brandon, you jokester, you."
This guy. This
Yeah,
guy. He's
I think
always kidding. And now they're like, how do we work from home? Oh, I've got a Nokia cell phone from the late 90s. Can I do my emails?
can I access Microsoft Teams from this flip phone?
I
No,
get,
man.
I got a T-Mobile Sidekick. Can I use it? It's a two-way pager. Yeah. So, I mean, we're making light of a lot of the stuff that's going on, but both you and I think, are both teleworking right now. So that is a real thing that we're having to deal with, and yeah, there's tons of people that are doing that.
Uh, uh,
My sister is people that I know from other parts of the country have been
Champ,
doing it for a while.
Champ, who's in the chat,
Champ in the chat, teleworking like a boss.
yeah,
Yeah, it's I don't know how.
I,
It's a weird feeling. I know that there are people that like do this all the time. It's their norm. It's definitely something I feel like I have to sort of get used to. Like, and it doesn't help that it's spring break for my kids. So like everybody's home, everybody's around. So like I can't be like, nope, I'm gonna go work. Tap, email. Like I could do that a little bit, but I don't know. I think it would be a little. I mean, I'm probably by month 3 of this when we're all still teleworking. I'll be totally used to it. But
yeah,
but
yeah.
it is a weird feeling right now.
This is kind of how I wanted to approach all this stuff going into it, and we probably should have pre talked about this, but like this podcast, Apathetic Enthusiasm, we started this podcast wanted to do like a technology podcast, and this is like a perfect subject, really not talking about the COVID stuff on its face, but talking about the technology aspects of it that are coming out. And this telework, I think, is a huge part of that, because telework for most people, and I don't know about the wide area of business in the world, but I feel that there's a hesitance for telework in and about the world, because like, oh well, they're not in the office and people aren't working together directly with each other, and how do I know as a boss that, Travis, you are doing the work that you're supposed to be doing?
Right.
How do you know you're not fucking around over on Facebook?
How do I know you're not playing Stardew Valley all day? Which
I
is what I spent the better part of my day doing.
I saw you on Steam, you son of
Yeah, I was
a-
playing
Mm.
a start. I was building a farm, guys. I was building a farm.
Um, but what this is going to do, as more people are teleworking and companies develop strategies for telework, I think that this is going to force their hand a little bit. And I read an article on that I saw on LinkedIn about this. It's going to force their hand to say, you know what, this is actually good, and there's people are still being productive even though they're at home, and they're probably just as productive as they were while they were here at the office. And since they're not commuting 30, 40 minutes, whatever, then they focus more, and it saves us money because we don't have to spend as much money on facility costs such as power, janitorial services, an actual footprint for people to have their desks. We don't have to buy new furniture for everybody. All
Yeah.
we have to do is buy network space. And with cloud computing and investing in data centers rather than on premises uh, servers and what have you, they're gonna be like, you know what, this actually works out for us. Now, granted, this is like we're talking about like IT, and like my dad's a not a graphic designer. He's uh, a computer draftsman, so he can do stuff on his computer, and he can do whatever. A lot of IT stuff that's not hands on, you can do that from a distance as well. If you're a Cisco employee, but focusing on that way, the companies that can telework are going to be like, oh yeah, this is actually a good idea. We should do this.
Yeah. It is interesting. Like in my normal day to day, there are people that work with me, work for me, that like I'm not over their shoulder like watching what they're doing all day. And it's really like at the end of the week I get that like, all right, here's all the tasks that I accomplished, or here's all the things that got done, and here's how far we are on the project and stuff. So there you can still do a lot of that via telework. And now that broadband internet has gotten to be as available as it is, I know there's still a lot of rural areas that don't have the bandwidth, but doing video conferencing, doing those sorts of things, I mean, it's second nature to us because like we do it every week. We're doing it right now to record a podcast. Like this is normal for us. But yeah, I could see the application in a lot of other places, and I'm very curious to see what steps towards normalizing telework will happen through this process, and how much, because certain jobs it's just not going to work.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, if you're doing an office job, definitely you can do it. If you're if you're stocking boxes in the back of an Apple store, a la Spencer Crittenden, when he first became part of Harmontown. I'm catching up on Harmontown, guys. Yeah, that's not going to work. And so, I feel for the people, especially right now, who are stressing out about their job, their place of business, A lot of stuff came out today with talking about no meetings of 10 or more people and all the social distancing stuff, and the businesses that are going to be impacted, the people that work in those businesses are going to be directly impacted. There's a lot of uncertainty with that, and yeah, that can be a very difficult thing to process. So I hope teleworking can help that a little bit, but it's not going to be like a blanket. It's not going to work for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to mention something also on teleworking. Well, two things, but I'll get this one out of the way real quick. You know, the I would say maybe about even 5 years ago, teleworking wasn't as feasible as it is now for those in kind of a managerial or very customer servicey or distant able career fields. Microsoft with Office 365 and Microsoft Teams,
Not a
uh,
sponsor.
not a sponsor, but everything is Teams like has everything ingrained in it for collaboration. And like you can do your messaging, you can do like the video chat one on one through Teams, and you can have your channels and kind of like what we do with Slack. For those who know what Slack is out there, Discord, if you're Discord
Yep.
familiar, like the Teams is kind of like Discordish in that way.
It's a more
But
professional Discord. Yeah.
exactly
But
right.
and again, like companies, I saw an article today that Discord had some servers go down today due to just the amount of load that they're having to deal with.
I bet.
It's a challenge, and uh, it's a lot of companies are going to be tested with whether or not they can support the more people online at a given time. I know broadband companies. Some have come out and said, "Hey, we're not gonna charge your data caps. We're gonna give you actually higher speeds if you're teleworking, things like that." My provider is not one of those, so throwing some shade at Cox for not removing my data cap yet. I'm totally
Yeah.
gonna get charged for it. But yeah, there's a lot of companies and organizations and different entities that are having to change the way they think about how they do business, and some are adapting quickly. We talk about events that were closing, lots of conventions are closing, lots of public meeting places are closing. Broadway is shut down. There's no live theater. And I was supposed to go to a concert on Saturday. I couldn't go to it. They ended up postponing the concert. But then I saw a post today
Hmm.
about a band who is being a little bit more adaptive. The Dropkick Murphys, if you're familiar with this group, they were ready to play a big St. Patrick's Day show, and unfortunately, due to all of the precautions that need to be taken, they could not host that show, and so now they are streaming a concert for free from Boston on St. Patrick's Day. We'll throw the links out there. It'll be in the show notes, or you can check it out in the chat. If you're a Dropkick Murphys fan, free concert on St. Patrick's Day, available on all sorts of platforms: YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. Like they're everywhere. They're everywhere doing this.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's really cool. Obviously, I'm not saying I'm not a Dropkick fan, but I don't really listen to them offhand. Um,
I don't have them on my Spotify most played list. That's for sure.
I have a Dropkick Murphys slash Face to Face split album where they covered each other's songs.
Mm-hmm.
That's the extent of my Dropkick experience. But I think it's really cool. Concert wise, it's kind of like there's nothing like the experience of being at an actual show to experience that. I know that is like stand-up comedy. They've done this for a long time, doing like the live streaming or at least where you can download or watch it live if you pay some money. Harmontown, $5 a week, you watch it. We can kind of equate that to stand-up comedy. Or Sharab TV just came out. Um, yeah, it's it's a nice gesture. It doesn't really fully encapsulate what we want to see, but what I'm more interested in is not necessarily the concert, those live things that they're making concessions for, but and we could talk about it more. Sorry if you have more to
No,
say
no,
about.
no, that's okay.
But the more interesting that thing that I thought that is coming out of this is, at least temporarily, the major movie studios are switching to not sending them to theaters, right? Because as cities start shutting down everything, they're saying no. Let's go direct to home movie.
Yeah,
So
and this is not every studio has made this decision, but there was an article that came out today. I think it was a Hollywood Reporter that was saying that like NBC Universal, they're starting to look at in how can we show new movies to the fans that are excited to see them without the risk of them going out to the theaters. I know the local movie theaters around here, they were attempting to do like a social distancing ticket cap where they would only sell theaters to 45 or 50% of the capacity, and then they would now, because you can like pick your seat ahead of time, they were just locking out certain seats to force people to be distributed throughout the theater. But really, with the recommendations now for not having more than 10 people together, it's just not really feasible for theaters to stay in operation with such low capacity. So it's going to be a challenge. And I think some movies will just get postponed. I know Disney pushed back the release dates of the live action Mulan. And I think a couple other movies that they were like, all right, we're gonna postpone these, and other studios have done the same.
yeah, like that the Bond film, which is I think the first movie that they said they were gonna push because of what was going on. Which is, in retrospect, when that first came out, everyone's like, "Oh, what? Are you serious? This isn't even that big a deal, and you're postponing? What
Yeah,
losers?" Bond's not such a loser, like a wussy loser. Here we are.
here we are.
Bond.
Here we are. Yeah, this article talking about NBC Universal, some of the movies that we're talking about here. It says it. Where does it say it? Trolls World Tour. I know everybody's really fired up for
Oh, yeah.
Trolls. The
The Hunt.
Invisible Man, The Hunt,
Yeah.
Emma, all of those movies would also potentially be included. And what they're talking about doing is basically a 48-hour rental on digital for about $20. And when I said that number to my wife, she was kind of like, that seems really high. And then I was like, okay, but think about it, because if we paid to take our family out to a theater to see a movie, we're definitely over $20 easily to watch that.
Like with Twizzler, and some Twix, maybe
You
some
got your
Skittles.
popcorn. You gotta play in the arcade before the
You got
kids leave.
you got your ices.
But yeah, like I think she was thinking of it as just like a movie rental, like $20 for a movie rental. That's crazy. But the fact that you're essentially offsetting the cost of going to the theater, and
Yeah.
still as a studio trying to recoup some of the money that you're losing from the box office. That's honestly, I don't know what the split is with the theater itself, but they're probably not losing too much on that deal because they probably got to pay the theater to run it anyway, right? So
Yeah, that's true if you think about that. Yeah, there's a guy I follow on Twitter. We follow him on our Rick and Morty pod just because I follow him everywhere. John Squires, aka at Freddy in Space. He is the editor in chief of Bloody Disgusting horror movie website, And he sent out the tweet. He was retweeting Scott Wampler. The Scott Wampler said, seeing some chatter about $20 being too much for a new streaming rental, and that has me curious what y'all typically spend on a night out at the movies. Um, and then I bought some Twizzlers at an AMC recently and had to take out a loan. And Freddy in Space, John Squires says, as someone who's been paying $15 per movie ticket for a while now, plus more money on gas for weekly 40-minute trips to the theater, $20 for an at-home premium video on demand rental sounds pretty damn reasonable to me. And I mean that's exactly right. Like if I took my son to see what was it, Onward, right? We talked about
Yeah,
that.
Onward. Yeah.
I forgot about that movie already. I spent $10, $12. He then another 10 whatever on him. That's 20 right there. Uh, for instant, if that was now video on demand, I have that right there. I have the snacks in my house. The one thing that I think is going to change is the availability of pirating, and in that is what I think is going to be the kind of thorn in the side of this plan long term. I I think that companies will continue to do this in some capacity, but I think they are hesitant about the bane of pirating.
Yeah, it's there is a risk to that, I think, if people can sorry, we're getting distracted because somebody is using a custom emote that we just got in on our Twitch stream, and it's my dumb face. It's so yes, if you subscribe to us on Twitch, this is a brief ad break in our conversation. If you subscribe on our Twitch, you can get emotes of Brandon and I's cartoon faces, and you can spam the chat with these emotes. So yeah, go subscribe on Twitch if you love us. It's another way that you can support our podcast. But yeah, I pushing out on demand these movies definitely opens you up for pirating, but also having it readily available on a legal means also kind of combats that a little bit. So there people that still pirate movies and pirate music, we're not gonna change their minds. We're not gonna change their attitudes necessarily right away, but statistically the availability of streaming services, iTunes had a big impact. All of these things of legal means to get access to music, to get access to movies, has in a way at least fixed the pirating problem to a degree. It's not like it was back in like the late 90s, early 2000s when everybody had a Napster and they were just going ham on it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's it could be a thing, but I'm hoping that I don't think this will be as much of a something that people are going to stick to, where they're like, all right, we're just going to go straight to homes and skip the theater. I don't think this means the end of theaters like forever, because yeah, I love going to the theater. I like seeing it on the big screen, and even though I've got a projector, like it's not the same. It's not the same.
It's not. But it there's so many of your face on the yeah. It's similar to when I was a kid. I wanted to go to the arcade, and I wanted to just head down to the street, head down like 2 miles down the road, head to the arcade, and just walk around putting quarters in things. And slowly arcades died out, and they got consolidated into the malls, or like two arcade machines um, right outside the movie theater. And and our and because like Xbox and Sony and all these things came out, and they're so much more powerful, you didn't need the arcade anymore, and so it just like slowly phased out a little bit. Um, and I don't think that movie theaters will phase out entirely, but I see them, and I hope I'm wrong. I see them being much more rare, just like drive-in theaters are a dime a dozen at this point in our lives. Which maybe they'll make a resurgence now that things are going on.
Nebraska just announced, not too far away from me, that they're opening a brand new drive-in movie theater, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is like." First, it hit a nostalgia bone, right? Where you're like, "Oh, I remember like going to the drive-in with my family or with my friends, and all loading up in a car and watching a movie outside. That'd be so much fun to take my family to go do that." And I feel like that, like capitalizing on that nostalgia factor, is a way that a drive-in movie theater could still be successful, right? I hope that the entire movie industry doesn't turn into like a nostalgia factor where you're like, oh, back in my day, we used to have to go to the theater to watch a motion picture.
Well, what's old is new again. Vinyl took a long time, but now it well.
Yeah, the hipsters have brought it back. Yeah.
Uh,
As I can almost reach out and touch my record player at the end of my desk.
I bought Chelsea a Roger Miller record that I found at Goodwill the other day.
Very nice, very nice.
But yeah, no, nobody wants to see theaters go away, but I do think that the economic uh, foundations of theaters is not ultimately sustainable with this kind of technology that we've experienced in the last 500 years. 500 years, the last century. I want to go see a movie.
Let's go watch a movie. So you have time off.
Uh,
It's not off. It's just at home. What are some movies that you've been missing that you're like, I'm gonna check this one out, or I've got time. Is there anything that's kind of like rattling around on your list?
yes, I've got a couple movies. They're all Oscar contenders.
For 2020 Oscar films, because that's exactly the list that I'm hoping to check off.
Parasite, Knives Out, those 1917.
1917. All right, yeah, two of the three, and I'd watch Knives Out as well. I'd probably do that.
On Twitter, somebody mentioned also that Knives Out and that their local theater, Knives Out was even though it was like there was video on demand, people were still paying to go to the theater to see Knives Out, which was just kind of emphasize the theater experience. People just still want to experience that, even if they could have pirated it. And one of my friends, I will say this, one of my friends, I won't say his name, but it starts with a Hull. If he doesn't want to see, if he doesn't know if he wants to see a movie, then he will download it through, of course, legal means,
Mm-hmm.
and he'll watch it that way. But if it's good, then he will go to a theater and pay to see it.
After he's already watched it.
If it's good enough, yeah.
Mm.
A couple years. Let me say a side note. Maybe about in 2006, 2007, Radiohead came out with In Rainbows, and they didn't release it through a major record label. They released it independently, and what they did was they set up a website and they said, you donate, you give us $1, you give us nothing, you give us $100, that's fine. Whatever you give us, you will get the album for that much. Whatever you think it's worth.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you think it's worth. And it was actually really successful because people who enjoy the album, maybe they only like me. I only gave them $1.
Mm-hmm.
But then I listened to it and I loved it, and I ended up spending $15 more just to be like, here you go. I don't know what the point of that was, other than like if people enjoy your product, then they will give you the money for it.
Yeah.
They will support you.
And go see a movie they've already seen.
So make sure you donate bits to Apathetic Enthusiasm.
There's another plug. Let's go to a 60-second ad break. No, we're not really doing that yet. All right. Let's talk. It's now time for political talk with Brandon and Travis on Apathetic Enthusiasm. Yeah, all right. Everybody loves that political talk. One other interesting.
I got those
Uh,
things.
yeah, he's got those. He's got them drops. One of those other things that is coming out of this whole coronavirus situation is a lot of new legislation being discussed, passed around. Obviously, there were some huge bailouts for the stock market to try and level out the market and things like that. The Fed is like dropping interest rates completely, like all kinds of things that we normally do not talk about on this podcast. But you
Yeah.
mentioned to me earlier about a
No,
bill.
I don't even know I don't even know what any of that means. You
Okay.
said all those words. I'm like,
There,
interest
there,
rate.
there's the grapples at the Dingle Bops that are spreading the shaleem all over, and we're not sure if the Whoozits are in the way or whatever. The Grumbo. We'll
sounds like
see if the Grumbo pans out. Anyway, Brandon, you brought up, you're like, Mitt Romney's talking about a UBI, and I was like, should he get a prescription for that? Is he
Should he
itchy? What's
cranberry juice?
cranberry juice for his UBI? But then I punched it into the Google machine and found out that is a what is it? A universal
Basic income.
Universal basic income.
Yeah.
And so this is something that's being discussed, and it's kind of baffling to me. Current versions of the bill would allow all taxpayers basically to get a stipend, about a one-time payment of $1,000 to every adult and $500 for every child.
Yeah.
As like a one-time payment, just to kind of like, is it just like a pressure release? Like, hey, times are hard. Thing like, maybe you're out of work. Maybe you can't get as many hours. Here's some cash. Just stop bothering us. I don't know how the one-time payment of this like fixes. It feels like a Band-Aid on a problem, and it also feels like maybe a little bit like communism.
Well, they did this. It's nothing like communism.
Are you sure? I think we might be communist now.
Positive. Because they did something similar to this way back when, like 10 years ago, whatever, something like that.
During the recession?
Yeah.
Great recession, Brandon.
But this is something that shout out to old Size Mode, who I don't think he's in the stream anymore. But during the Democratic primaries, early on, when Yang was still in the mix, the Yang Gang talked about universal basic income for a long time. He said like $1,000 per adult every month, and everyone's like, oh, this is kind of absurd. Not absurd.
Absurd, Brandon.
Like
Gang.
and everyone's like, oh, great, crazy guy. And now Mitt Romney, he's throwing this out there. Adam Schiff also kind of was saying something about that as well. But here's the thing, dude. Like, the federal government gave 1.7 or whatever, something over $1 trillion to like a short-term loan to kickstart the markets, and it did nothing. The next day, the market still dropped down for like the second or third time below that 7%, where they do like the flip switch, like, oh, hey, shit, slow that down, right? And it did nothing. And the whole thing behind the universal basic income is that, well, we're still providing for our people, and they can take that money and we're not trickling down. We're giving money directly to the people, and they can invest that into the economy, however way, like local businesses or on Amazon, whatever. Amazon gets retailers, they whatever supply chain economics.
Yeah.
But the idea is that especially during this time where some folks aren't working, they can't work, they can't work from home. I know there's a lot of people being laid off because um, they they have no job while there's a quarantine going on. Well, this still gives them money that they can still put into the economy. And rather than say, "Hey, uh, businesses, here's a shitload of money," and then it'd be like, "Thanks, but I mean, it's not doing anything for us." Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
Instead, we're building it would build the confidence of the the lower end consumer, which will still kind of keep it going up.
Yeah.
That's kind of the idea behind it.
And
The
this
thing
has been political economics lessons with Brandon and Travis on Apathetic Enthusiasm.
the thing is that at $1,000 per adult, it seems like, whoa, that's like that's a lot of money, but it's still less than the amount of money that we put into the uh to Wall Street this
That
last
Wall Street bailout last week. Yeah. Still less. Still less.
still
So
less.
yeah, it's fine. I'll take it. I'm not gonna not take it.
Look, I'm not going to make this Brandon's progressive podcast. But what I really think is interesting is not that I support any position one way or the other, but it highlights all the things that the Democrats have been fighting over the last couple of months.
Yeah, yeah. Now we're gonna get into the coverage of the Democratic primaries here. No, I'm just kidding, guys.
No, don't-
No. Yeah, no, but that is about all that we had scheduled.
this is our stream after we start talking about the Democrats.
Oh, you got crickets. He got crickets. So a few lighter notes, if you will. We are finding things to do with our time. We're hanging out. We're gonna watch some movies, play some games. I did play a lot of Stardew Valley today. I keep starting that game and then never getting like past the first spring, I think. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna actually build that farm. So I am working on that. And then what was the other thing I was gonna talk about? Oh, affiliates, being affiliates.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you so much to everybody that listens. And you guys are amazing. You guys have been following the podcast for years, and we appreciate each and every one of you. Those of you that watch live on Twitch and YouTube have made making Apathetic Enthusiasm even more fun than it has been for the last 5 years. Having that immediate feedback with the people in chat is a blast, and we reached a milestone in this last week where on Twitch specifically we broke into the affiliate category. So we are now officially Twitch affiliates. Basically what that means is we can make money on Twitch. That's, truth in advertising. That means if you go to Twitch, now you will probably see an ad before our video starts, and you can subscribe to our channel on Twitch. So yes, thank you to all of the people that follow us on Twitch. That following is is like subscribing on YouTube, where you'll get notifications when we go live and things like that. But a subscription is a no kidding, putting your money where your mouth is, and no kidding, not joking around. But that is where you can actually donate money to the stream. If you subscribe, you will get our videos without ads, and you can also get access to things like the emotes that have started to already show up in the chat. Our first two emotes are my face and Brandon's face. You're gonna have to fork out, I think $4.99 a month or something to get access to Brandon's face.
Yeah. Hey, when you get that $1,000 a month,
yeah,
at least like cut off just like a little chunk of it and make sure you subscribe to see my face. Not the one where I'm eating a pickle.
No,
But
not the
but
pickle one. Not the pickle one. We had a conversation about it. He's like, get that pickle out of here. But
I
yeah,
love
and then you can like buy bits on Twitch and donate bits, and that's gonna allow you to get access to different things. I think now we have channel points and all kinds of craziness that's gonna make it even harder for us to pay attention.
sounds. You can do sounds.
Sounds?
Did you tell him about the
No,
sounds?
because you were messing with the sounds. I don't know anything about the sound.
Oh man, I don't even know how to get there. Oh, I hope this doesn't play. Sounds. Go and keep talking. I'm gonna go to see if we can do some sounds. Oh, oh my God. Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Oh,
I'm not talking. I
you're
could
not-
be talking, but I'm not.
should be-
Anyway, there are a lot of things, and we'll get into it a little bit more in our post show conversation. But again, I just want to thank everybody who has supported our streaming habits since we started, and we're gonna keep doing it for a long time. So thank you guys. Thanks to those of you watching. And yeah, I think that's about it. Unless
No.
Brandon, you have a sound to play for us.
No, I do. Oh, I don't remember how to get there. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, that's not the one. Well, anyways.
I can't
I guess
find
I'll-
it. I can't find it, Brandon.
I guess I'll
Uh,
stop.
we'll get sounds set up at a later date. But yeah. So thank you guys. Thanks for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for downloading, and thank you for sharing. Thank you for telling others about the show and letting people know about the silliness that we take part in week after week. And yeah, if you haven't rated or reviewed the show, please go out and do that, or don't. Whatever. But yeah, that's it for this week. We'll be back next week, probably in the same place, maybe paler than we are now because we aren't allowed to leave. But with that in mind, if you are like seriously affected by this, and I don't know if there's any way that we can, I don't know, signal boost or help out a cause or things like that, please hit us up. Hit us up on Twitter. Hit us up by email. Whatever you feel comfortable with, and let us know, because this is a period where a lot of people are really scared. A lot of people are really nervous, and it's really easy to think about yourself and think about how to, buy all the toilet paper and keep it for yourself. But this is also an opportunity to really, be generous and think about others. So, be good to other people, and spread that positivity. So
Yeah, let me tell you a little positivity story. Speaking of Travis,
all right, we're gonna end on a positive note.
I went to Winn-Dixie. Two different examples of positivity. I went to Winn-Dixie on Friday, and Friday evening, and I was just doing some shopping. I'm like, you know what? I should prepare a little bit more. I should get a little bit more food before the supermarkets get too packed. And I'm like, you know what? I want to get some Gatorade. And I went to the Gatorade aisle, and there's a bunch of the plastic bottles. And I said, you know what? I could make probably more Gatorade with a big can of powder than I can the bottles. And so as I'm looking at the bottles, I grab a lemon lime one. I take that and put it in my cart. And there's this guy right next to me. He said, "Yeah, man, that's that's a good thing. You can make like you only need to do like a tablespoon. You get like a gallon of Gatorade. That's a good idea. I bought one earlier. Like, yeah. I think I'm gonna grab another one." He's like, "Yeah, that's a good idea. You know what? I'm gonna grab another one too." And then we kind of did like a cheers thing with our bottles, but like
With your cans of Gatorade powder.
yeah. And I was like, "Hey man, yeah, cheers to you." He's like, "Yeah, good luck, man. Take care of yourself." I'm like, "Yeah, you too." I was like, "That's nice. Look at that. We didn't kill each other. It's not Walking
Yeah.
Dead."
Yeah. I mean, you stole the toilet paper out of his cart. You sort of glossed over that part of it.
I slashed his tires with a switchblade I had. I followed him to his house and I murdered his family. But
And
you know,
stole their
like,
toilet paper.
and his Gatorade. But in my defense, I did like take the Gatorade powder and I was like, one for my homie. Just like poured it on his body. So morbid. Okay, the second story. Second story was right after that I went into the liquor store portion of Winn Dixie, and there was some lady there, and she's just like, my kids are out of school. I need more alcohol. And I was like, cheers to that. Good luck to you. She's like, oh my god, all right, have fun quarantining. And then she walked off. I killed her as well. But I let her kid know that, like, you know what, I'm not gonna harm you. I don't hurt kids.
You're
But
just like the coronavirus.
but you but your mom was over 65.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Ah,
more
it got dark, kids. It got dark. I was trying to push a positive message.
it it
Okay.
the it's just we are people, and we still connect, and we still communicate, and even like this teleworking stuff and the social distancing, and us even talking to you over the internet right now, even though we are far away, we are still close to each other. And we're not panicking, we're being vigilant. We're not even though we don't think this is a big deal, it's flu-like symptoms, we understand that other people might think that it's a big deal. And so no matter what, we come together and we make it through whatever, thick and thin, whatever country you're from. We are together in this. So let's just push through
Yeah.
and play some Jackbox 6.
Jackbox TV 6. All right, everybody. That is our show. Thank you so much for listening. And until next time, I'm Travis.
And I'm Brandon. Goodbye.
Play us out. All right, everybody. That's the music that ends the formal portion of this evening. But it is now time for dancing and music as we hang out in the after show. That is our weekly stream. So,
Chest so much. I am
wait, what?
just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. Here. This is the thing I didn't say on the podcast, which is, my wife and kid. They're both sick, and Chelsea's been sick for like the last like 2 weeks basically, and then she went to she went to urgent care on Saturday while I was at the pool with my kid, and because she had pink eye. I'm like, oh great, fucking great. And then and then my kid yesterday is like, oh, he's like sniffling. I'm like, oh god,
It's like rubbing his boogers in your face.
I'm surrounded by everybody that's sick. And then I'm like, oh, is my throat getting scratchy? And then last night, like my chest started to hurt a little bit, and then this morning my chest hurt. I'm like, oh god, this is it. This is it. I'm gonna die.
This is how I get coronavirus.
And here's the thing. I'm not sure that it's my chest that hurts inside, or the fact that I have like one of those pull-up bars that in the doorway. And because Chelsea is in my son's room because she's self isolating herself from the rest of the family.
So that no one
Everyone,
else gets pink eye.
yeah, every once in a while I go in to check on her, but the pull-up bar is on the other side of the other doorway. And so whenever I check on her, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? Do you need anything?" She's like, "No, I'm fine, thanks."
And you're like, sweet.
And I turn around and I go, "Ooh, ooh," or like, "Ooh, ooh." And I don't know if me waking up this morning is because I don't have any chest muscles, and so my chest is abnormally sore from working out that part of my body, or I'm dying of corona. So
Yeah. I definitely think it's one of those two things. I'm quite confident.
I called the company work line to say, here's the situation. Family's sick, throat's kind of scratchy, my chest hurts. but I did pull-ups yesterday, and I said it might be because I have no muscle mass on my chest, and the doctor said to me, I didn't want to be the one to say that.
It sounds like you're a pathetic weakling. That's my diagnosis. Take take two take 2 scoops of protein. Call me in the morning.
Grab a bunch of rocks, put them in your ball sack because you've got no nuts right now.
I did a workout today in this office because I'm not gonna be caught dead in a gym. So I did a kettlebell workout that I found on the internet. So I did that. I would go out for a run, but there's snow on the ground because, of course, it would be snowing during my kids' spring break.
Of course. Champ mentions pull-ups use back muscles, though.
Not the way you do them.
You're not incorrect about that, but so this is, it's got the wide ones where you can do like that, or you can go like that, or there's different variations of it. I was doing the ones where it was like where you lift up like this, um, and for some reason like I felt it like I squeeze like right here whenever I hit the top. By the way, when I say that, I mean like I did one at a time, and I was like, oh, this is as far. This is one is good, and then I was done. Um, uh, so yes, they do work back, and I was trying to do more back stuff, but it was still tight here for some reason. Also phlegm, it's like a real dark black phlegm that comes out of my. No,
Have you been sucking on the exhaust pipe of your car?
oh,
It's fun to laugh, isn't it, everyone?
it is. It's so fun. So fun.
No,
Go
go
ahead.
for it.
No, I was gonna say, I bought Yoshi's Woolly World.
Yoshi.
And that's a fun game. That's a fun little co-op game. Oh, motherfucker! You know what? I told you this already. Last night, I'm like, you know what? I got this. I got this new X. Oh, I got the new Xbox in the living room. Got this old Xbox here in this podcast room. You know what? I could play some Rock Band 4 in the room by myself, and I can close the door, and it won't be as loud, and everybody can watch TV in the living room, and it's fine. Hey, cool. I started playing drums, and all of a sudden, like I hear like a on the bass pedal. I'm like, no, this bass pedal's lasted me forever. Snap, and I'm like, no, my bass pedal broke my Rock Band 4 kit, and I'm like, and Chelsea's like, Brandon, can you give me some medicine? I'm like, no, I'm trying to fix a bass pedal.
What broke on it?
It's just there's a hinge at the base of it. So there's a spring at the where your toes would be, but both it comes up and down. But at the base of it, there's just like a hinge, and uh, although it didn't break at the hinge, I've had multiple break at the hinge. It broke like kind of like right above the hinge where it like snapped right there. So the hinge is there, this piece is here, but this is just like floppy. And
Can't you hook up that drum set behind you to the game?
no, I that's the first thing I looked at, and no, because they're different connectors. They're a quarter inch versus a 3.5 millimeter.
Boo. Boo. Well, like I said earlier when you were crying about this, I have a perfectly good working. I might have 2 actually. I don't know. I might.
Send it to
I would consider doing that. I might do that.
I will kiss you from a distance if you
from a safe 6 feet away. Yeah. What are you guys? I want to know from the people watching. Like, what have there been impacts? Have you guys had any changes? Is anything happening? Are you Are you still going to work? Are you still going to school? Are you out of luck? Are you sitting at home just watching us because you're not allowed to do anything else? Like what are things like for you guys?
Yeah, what are things like for you
Also,
guys?
give us some bits. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm
Yeah,
kidding. But
yeah, please.
seriously, somebody
No.
buy some bits and and donate them so that we know what happens.
What actually happens? I don't
I
know.
don't
What?
know. No one's done it.
Let me see if I can find that
Also,
sound.
we got gifted a subscription to Tipsy Tune on our
Who?
account.
Tipsy Tune.
The
Oh,
the the guy who we rated last week.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, somebody on that channel gifted us a tier 1 subscription to Tipsy Tunes channel.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I
Good.
liked Tipsy Tune. I think we all liked Tipsy Tune. Who raise your hand if you didn't like Tipsy Tune. Not us. Not
Not
us.
us. D Squeeze Your Wife is off for an extra week for spring break. Yeah. My kids are on spring break right now, and our school just said, yeah, no, don't worry about that whole coming back from spring break thing. So
Yeah, yeah.
my wife may be homeschooling here very soon.
Well,
Uh,
it's close to the end of the school year, so it doesn't affect you too much.
yeah, no, it's not too crazy. I do feel a little bit bad for my daughter who it's like her last year in elementary school before she moves to middle school.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like friendships
That
that she's had for a long time, like some of those kids are going to other middle schools and things like that. So she's kind of like, so that's just it. Like I don't get to go back to school. Like,
yeah.
and I'm like, you FaceTime with your friends all the time now. Like, don't cry about it.
That's
When
and
when I was your age, I never saw those people again.
and that's why you beat her ass at chess tonight.
That did happen. There was a point when if she had been paying attention, she could have gotten me. But she wasn't, and I won. So
How often do you play chess with her?
that was the first time in 12 years.
Wow. Wow.
And she's 12. So
And she
uh,
almost beat.
yeah. So she actually borrowed my chessboard and brought it to school, and this is the nerd that my child is. They would compete with each other in her classroom and then play against the teacher playing chess. So she's been playing a bunch of chess this year, and I have a feeling we're gonna be playing a lot of chess at home now that she's not going to school.
Do, I don't know if I knew you back then, but there when we worked in Oklahoma, in my office, you were upstairs, I was downstairs. We had a chessboard set up, and we'd always be playing. Me, Brett Fincher, Ryan Cody. We'd take turns playing.
Classics, classic
Playing.
name, classic name drops happening right now.
We'd be playing chess against each other, and in this the other like older workers there always got mad at us because like, do you guys do anything other than just play chess?
And you're
And
like, no, we
what a
don't.
what a problem to have, that we're like, quit playing chess and actually get to work, right? Um, but yeah, like I don't really have anybody anymore like that to play with. By the way, Ryan would always um, but yeah, I just chess is so fun. It's so fun to me.
Uh, D Squeeze dropped 100 bits and played the America F yeah sound on our stream. So thank you
Hey,
for the bits.
thank you, Alex. Real
Good
quick,
night, Justin.
good night, J1. Bye. Alex, I did not grow up in Oklahoma. I grew up in California, but my wife grew up in or around Tulsa. That's where she's born. That's where her family's from. But I met her in California. I'm a California kid, born and raised on the playground. Is I avoided the playground.
Yeah,
I would go.
yeah. No, we were inside type kids.
But on the chess, look, chess is interesting. to me. uh, Playing with my kid, he's 8. Um, I I'm better at chess than him and my wife, and I have to actively be like back and forth playing both sides of the table because I want him to really like stop before he makes a move and say, okay, you want to move this piece to this location. What what pieces is it defending? What pieces can it attack? And or what pieces can attack it, right? And like just put yourself in that mindset to get into like a more logical, like just stop and think about what you're doing before you do it. um and he does it for a while. He's good for a while, then eventually he's like, I don't know. I'm like, just your queen can move one place and it's checkmate. Just one place and it's checkmate to me. Which move is it? And he's like, I don't know. Like, one move. There's only one place you can move, and then I'm like,
And then he flips the table and he's like, "Ah, I don't want to play with you anymore, Dad. I'm not gonna
yeah,
be Bobby Fischer."
not gonna do it.
I have the complete opposite strategy, which is just making my child feel bad when they make a bad move and go, huh, oh, you want to move that there? Because that's how I was taught. That's
That
how I was taught how to play chess.
that's how I was taught too. My dad, who I consistently beat now, um, was the school of I'm gonna beat you forever until you beat me. Um, and
And can I say what a humbling experience it is when you lose that first game and you're like, oh, that was playing. I think it wasn't Mario Kart. I think it was playing Mario Tennis Aces with my son. He wipes the floor with me, and I'm just like, what's going on? Jeez.
oh god, I don't want that. That's why whenever he's playing a game, I play it kind of when he's asleep to get better at him.
Yeah, it's because you're a good dad.
No, you don't ever beat me. You're never gonna be better than me.
Not in my house, son. Yeah.
Shout out to Alex with the excellent chess.
Get it off your
Yep.
chest. Yeah. What else is going on? I don't know. I don't have a lot going on. I don't have a lot going on. Today I woke up. I made some coffee, made some phone calls. I did a workout, and then I took a shower. And then I got out of the shower and I put on a fresh pair of pajamas. And I've been wearing those all day. Because there's no reason to put on real pants. I don't need them. I just stay inside.
I wore some blue workout shorts and bright orange socks all day.
Cause
I
you're a
didn't work
man of
out.
fashion.
I
That's what
didn't
you
work
are.
out. I just wore them all.
Yeah, we might get some rain tomorrow, but the weather's supposed to be nicer. I cannot wait to go for a run. I cannot wait. So
D Squeeze has to do that to his wife at Mario Kart.
hmm.
What is that? Let her win, or can
or
just beat.
or do you stay up late and play it to make sure that she doesn't beat you?
The-
Mario Party is one of those games though that like it's sometimes it can be a roll of the dice, like a roll of the virtual dice.
that's right.
Yeah.
This is something that I've been preparing for my entire life, is to artificially lose, to make sure that people get better at the game, or ideally helping people get better at the game. The earliest example I could think of, and let me is Have a Good Day Face still here? and He is not. Good. I can talk shit about him. Okay. Uh, Me and Matt, whenever we would play StarCraft, the original StarCraft '98, we would we'd play against the computer a lot. That's fine, we beat the computer. But every once in a while, we'd play against each other, and I would just beat him. I know I would beat him, but I didn't want to beat him so bad because I still wanted to play the game with him. So what I'd do is be like, all right, I'm not going to send as many people as I could send down to his base. I could take my Arbiter and I could use my Templar to clone it and then make him confused and he doesn't know which one it is. And I could technically recall all these zealots uh, down to his base and just completely destroy him. But why would I do that? Because he's going to get pissed off and he's going to log off. Now you know what? I'll just send some archons down there and he'll kill him and then he'll beat me.
Just slow rolling him, making him feel better.
Yeah.
I feel like I played StarCraft with you before. I don't think I ever played against you though. I think
No.
it was always like, here's Brandon building all the things, and I'm like, what button do I hit to make a base? How do I? And then you're like, we won. And I was like,
Done.
oh well, you're welcome. You're welcome for my help.
I guess that was fun.
That reminds me of an RTS style game that I have in VR. Oh shoot, what's it called? I might play that tomorrow, so that it feels like I'm not in my house. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, talking about being in the house. Here's the thing: is
He's back.
I don't. Hi, Matt. I wonder if he's gonna get the tail of that story. I don't. I don't want to be around a lot of people. In like on the weekends, a normal weekend, Chelsea would be like, "Hey, do you want to go here? You want to go there?" And I'd be like, no, "I kind of want to stay in the house." But with them telling me that I need to stay in the house, that I'm like, I'm so
Oh
bored.
no. I gotta get out of here, guys.
I'm so anxious. I was pacing back and forth between my kitchen to the bedroom to the garage, like, oh my god, I want to do something and it's not here. That was my existence.
Yeah. Just think of what it'll be like when we actually have coronavirus and we have to stay here all the time. Then it'll be real cool. Yeah. Anything else? You guys got anything for us other than telling us that we suck and that we cheated StarCraft? Which, both of those things may be accurate.
I don't cheat at StarCraft. Look, I'm just too good. Actually, I'm not good at all, but I'm better than a lot of people.
I remember buying StarCraft 2, playing the solo campaign, being terrible at it, and stopping. Yeah, I'm not an RTS guy. That's the facts.
Hey, have you played Warzone on Call of Duty yet? Did you do that yet?
No, because I was kind of hoping Cox would drop their data caps, because it's like 100 gig download or something like that. And I played PUBG one round the other day and was like, I don't remember how to shoot. And I was like, maybe downloading an intense battle royale game that forces you to play in squads. Maybe I won't be that guy. Maybe I won't be that guy that's like with a team and not knowing what he's doing. Maybe I'll take it easy and play Stardew Valley and break rocks and cut down trees in my grandpa's farm.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do that instead. Ooh, it's somebody's birthday. Better bring him a gift. Here's the
Spring Festival. Buy some strawberries.
don't. Yeah, that's what I'm doing with my life.
it is a strawberry season down here in Tampa. So just let you know. Hey, Travis, Matt has a question that's not about accusing us of cheating at StarCraft. Travia, do you have the Oculus Quest like me? He asks.
Nah, brah. We're vibing up in here.
Ooh, ooh-wee.
I'm gonna wear it on top of my other headphones. Woo! Look at me vibing. This is
You
an OG
look like
HGC vibe.
you look like Spangler. That's
we
good.
gotta get that proton pack. Don't cross the streams. Whatever
Gotta
you do.
Class C. Oh man, I wish I knew more science terms from Ghostbusters.
Oh man, that movie's great. I should watch that movie.
Yeah. Um,
Ah.
hey, you know what we didn't talk is movies to watch while you're on quarantine or
Well,
manage.
here's the thing: is there's a high probability that next week's episode we'll have just as much to talk about. Cause so yeah, now is the time for us to like watch some movies, like play some games, so that we can talk about them next week. Cause I feel like this might be a topic for a while.
Yeah. What I would like to see is, we didn't talk about Disney Plus releasing Frozen 2 early.
Yep. Or them releasing The Last Skywalker like a month early on digital.
That's right. We didn't talk about that. But what I would like to see is video game companies releasing their games early. And
Oh, Animal Crossing comes out this week. It's gonna
as,
be.
and as you buy Animal Crossing, we can talk more about that.
That means I gotta fight my kid for the Switch, though. That means that, or I just buy a Nintendo Switch Lite and Animal Crossing,
I'm not.
and
Look,
just bank on that universal basic income coming through.
if you get that UBI, man,
If I get that UBI,
I'm paying off a bill. That's all.
you,
That's all I'm saying.
you better believe I'm gonna get me
Or
some Animal Crossing.
or buying a $500 bidet, not buffet, bidet.
And you gotta get that heated seat action going.
Yeah, man. But I don't know where I have like an outlet that I can plug that into.
No, that's a good point. I don't know. Maybe it runs on batteries. Probably not. D Squeeze says you can stream more days of the week now. LOL.
Oh,
You are absolutely right. And if that's something you want, we're here. If you want to watch me break those rocks, I
yeah.
can do it. I can do it. Yeah, I'll probably stream a little bit more. A couple more times this week. Yeah, even if you can't, just because like, I mean,
What else? What else would we?
what else am I doing, right? Yeah, we could we'll probably stream some more this week. Yeah, I don't know. That's about it.
I can maybe I can put more time into editing this podcast. Because I worked on the website.
Did you ever get that thing working?
I think so. Yeah. I I changed the link to contact from social to contact us. For some reason, it defaults to the cached version of that page, and I can't
Mm.
find out why it does. So instead I did was on apatheticenthusiasm.com. If you go to oh shit, I didn't. Thanks for reminding me. I didn't change the link. It still has the contact link, and it goes straight to the contact page rather than the about us page where you can contact us.
Oh, all right.
Thank
Well,
thanks for thanks for reminding me. A little bit inside.
it just says social old now
Yeah,
when you click
yeah.
on social.
For some reason it defaults to that, and I do not know why.
Weird. Look at that picture of me. That picture of me is the selfie I took when I was waiting for the Szechuan sauce outside of a McDonald's.
um
That picture. Anyway, Yeah, that's us. We're doing the things. We're streaming the streams. Hey,
Um,
you guys want to try something?
yeah, I'll love to try something.
All right. Well, we'll try it right after this word from our sponsors.
Okay.
Guys, if you're still watching, maybe you're on YouTube and you can't see an ad. Maybe you're a subscriber and you don't see an ad. Maybe the ads aren't working at all. But I clicked the button that said run a 60-second ad. So we'll see what happens. Are you watching the stream? Do you know if it's happening?
I I have the stream up on my phone. So I'll keep it right here. I'm still trying to get that page right. I'm so distracted. So distracted.
So distracted.
So oh man, yeah, got it. No,
I
it doesn't change. It doesn't change.
Okay. Well, yeah.
Oh,
No ads.
no
Good.
ad. Good
Good.
to
That button doesn't work.
uh,
Nothing is happening. Everyone's like, "What happened? What's
yeah.
what's
Why you
going
guys?
on?"
Why'd you guys stop talking?
What?
I don't get it.
I don't know. I don't know. All right. Well, at some point, I'll figure out how I can actually run ads in this.
Hey,
Or we just won't. We could
Go,
just not.
hey, everybody, go to apatheticenthusiasm.com and then click on the social link on the top right hand corner. And
Ooh, Champ Champ says he saw ads.
oh, well, shoot. Oh, great.
Hmm. So maybe people that have subscribed, which have a good day face has subscribed with a Twitch Prime account, perhaps. And our VIP D Squeeze. Maybe you guys.
Oh yeah. Well, that's the thing about subscribing, right? Is if
Yeah,
you
you don't see the ads if you're a subscriber.
that's right.
That's cool. That's cool.
If you use your Twitch Prime free like one time free subscription, thank you so much.
Yeah. And that'll give you access to those emotes. And then we still got to figure out what our third one is. Let us know what you guys think the third emote should be. Because one's my cartoon face, one's Brandon's cartoon face.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out what the third one is. That one costs like $25 or something. So it's got to be good. Like it's got to be real good.
It's got to be real good. So it's not a picture of my penis, because
that's got to be real good.
Real good. You don't
run an ad about artisanal toilet paper. I think this is a trying time. I don't know.
one of my high school friends, she's pregnant now, and she's having a girl, which is fantastic. You know her, Celine.
Oh yeah, my good friend Celine.
Yeah, best friend.
Great wedding. Beautiful ceremony. I mostly stuck to the reception.
Yeah. I found out from Chelsea that she's having a girl. And so I said, "Oh my God, congratulations, a girl!" And she said, "Oh, that was a typo. I meant grill. I'm having a grill." And so I told her that her husband should impregnate me because there's $1,000 pellet grill that I've had my eye on.
I've been really wanting a smoker, so if you could send him on over.
Yeah, so I'd rather deliver that myself. And she said, "Best Christmas ever, right out the pee hole." And I told her I could totally do it. I have an abnormally large pee hole. Sometimes I store a winter's worth of bread there. And then she said, "Gotta pee out a slice for that sandwich."
Apparently, Matt is finding out Celine's pregnant via this stream. So,
Matt, don't tell her. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell anybody. Stream.
You want to hear an anecdotal little story? The drawer to my nightstand was stuck and it wouldn't open. Do you know what was blocking it to keep it from opening?
condom.
No. The free sunglasses from their wedding.
Scott and Celine at 28.
Uh, so apparently I still have those sunglasses. I might need to get rid of them.
I went running the other day, and it was super bright outside. I took these glasses off. I'm like, oh god, I need sunglasses. I fiddled around in some drawers, not pants, actual drawers.
Mm-hmm.
I came out with a pair of glasses. Scott and Celine, 2018.
2018. Alex, I don't think you're gonna see the ads on YouTube. That's a little bit of a way around, I guess. So
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right. That's right.
I think they're only gonna run on our Twitch.
This whole multi-streaming thing, yeah, that really throws a wrench in the
Yeah. So we'll just go ahead and abandon all of our YouTube watchers. Force you onto Twitch. Nah, we love you over at YouTube. And at some point, there'll be several thousand more of you, and instead of just the 3 that we have now, and then I'm sure that'll become a lucrative business as well. Buy t-shirts. Buy t-shirts over at Apathetic Enthusiasm Show, or apatheticenthusiasm.com/shop. What's going on?
My dog's whining at me.
Oh, I thought Corona was coming to get ya.
Oh no! Oh,
Get ya.
talk. I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my dog.
Oh, I have to talk by myself now. Time for me to talk. All right. So, do you guys want me to shout out what games you want me to play? Playing Stardew Valley. I can just play that on streams if we're streaming on the reg, or I don't hate everyone on YouTube.
Oh, I'm a dog. Hello. One time I was trying to eat some poop, and he wouldn't let me eat the poop. But then I still pooped in my room, and then I ate it. He wasn't looking.
And then she licked your microphone.
Such stories to tell. Tell some more stories, Camila.
Have her do ASMR.
One time when I was a dog, what? What was that? What was that you said? I don't remember. No, I'm recording a podcast right now. Okay, so back to the story I was going to say. Stupid dog. She's not bred for podcasting. She's a Chihuahua, not a Chipotle.
John, I don't know if I'm gonna. I honestly started Stardew Valley to try and get myself to not buy Animal Crossing. So I was like, oh, what's a game like that I could just play now because I already own it? And that was Stardew Valley. But I've mentioned Animal Crossing enough times around my wife that I think she's like half plotting to get me a game without me realizing it. So I hope she gets me Pokemon Sword or Shield instead, because that's another game that I never bought. So.
Oh yeah, Pokemon, right?
Pokemon.
Am I right? Pokemon. Am I right? I want to. So I was gonna get Luigi's Mansion 3, but then I watched my kid watch all the boss battles on YouTube, and now I'm like, now I don't want to get it because you already know how to beat everything. So, to heck with you. Go back to school.
and that's why I don't like movie spoilers.
Let's see. Any other? Here's a game I want to come out. Baldur's Gate 3. It's not going to. Cyberpunk 2077. Is that coming out pretty soon?
No, it got pushed back to like the fall, I think.
No.
But
a story about me not liking that. Okay, so I went outside the other day, and the sprinklers are on, and I'm like, "Come on, sprinklers, don't sprinkle me." It's weird. And her stories they go nowhere. Oh no,
Ugh. You're losing me. You're losing me, pal. Uh this I'm just so it's this micro it's this pillow.
oh no, you got fired. There's a game
We should
called
play D&D. That's what we
Oh my
should
god.
do.
But okay, real quick on that note, old John Caulfield slash Champ Champ is putting together a one shot. I know he's doing it. He's talked to me periodically about the his kind of concept behind it. I'm looking forward to it. Um, he just needs to speed that up. Thankfully, he's on self isolation or self quarantine, and therefore he should be done by this Friday when we will perform it live in front of all
Uh
audience.
yeah. Finish that up. Finish that up, John. Let's get to it. Let's play it. Yeah, I also have the Rick and Morty stuff just
Yeah.
waiting. We could just play that whenever. I also have some other stuff that I could run. I could literally just go buy a book of like the Sword Coast stuff. We could run that. It doesn't have to be homebrewed. We could just run pre-made stuff and just play it.
Yeah.
So
You were supposed to have this last weekend tested out the whole Rick and Morty D&D thing, and that kind of fell through. So
yeah, COVID, had another victim, and that was my D&D game this last week. So,
yeah.
yeah. I kind of just want to. I'm thinking about starting like a web meeting, and just with, like people from work that are also working from home, and be like, hey guys, let's run a campaign. Are you shaking your dog? What are you doing?
No, she likes this. It's comfortable for her. She she digs it. Like this is how she goes to sleep at night. See, look, she's already putting her. She's already. um,
Uh, uh,
she's probably pretty.
NetHack is a D&D is it a D&D game?
It's
Old
old school
school
game that
game.
this is a side kind of discussion, but at Podfest, one of the rooms I was in, they were talking about systems other than D&D, and I've listened to a couple of podcasts. I think Happy Jack's RPG podcast, where they talk about getting away from D&D, that system, and going to other game systems, and kind of just exploring and finding out what else is out there. Because although D&D is great, it has a very specific purpose as far as the mechanics are concerned, and I don't really understand what that means, because I'm like, oh well, just apply a sci-fi concept to D&D, and it's not the same. Um, and they say it's not as clear cut as just putting a different spin on the
Yeah.
you know whatever
Yeah.
whatever. So yeah, I would like to do that with you guys sometime. Probably not with John, right? Because as it is, I don't want to I don't want to fight with him with D&D as it is. I don't want to fight with him with a new system.
Yeah, while he's busy playing Dwarf Fortress,
Dwarf Fortress.
which is a crazy callback to like a decade ago when
You want to you want to know some shit? Here, I'll tell you a story of
Brandon's
me.
about to spill the tea. Get ready, everyone.
Let me tell you a
That's
story
what the
about
kids are saying these
John.
days.
John was like a long time ago. It was like 2010, 2011. He rolled through Colorado Springs, and then he passed on. And that's when he and I became really close friends because he hugged a pillow on my couch, like really weirdly. And then like my dog at the time, Carmen, was like, "That guy's weird." I'm like, "I know, dog." Uh, yeah, me too. Um, but one of the things that he was like, we should play, if you like World of Warcraft, you would really like Ultima Online. And I said, oh, okay, yeah, man, yeah, let's do it. So I downloaded it, and Ultima Online predates World of Warcraft, and I followed him on this this primitive uh game. I just followed him around and he took me all over the place. And it was just so aimless. And he's like, "Yeah, no, you just gotta chop some wood and then do some of this, and then here, follow me to this town." And I followed him everywhere. And I had no idea what was happening ever. I just followed him. And eventually I'm like, this is boring. He's like, "No, you just don't get it." Um, and that's that story. Dwarf Fortress, which is interesting to me, is even more primitive. Um, but I refuse to follow him down into that pit.
That's like when I tried to get back into Diablo 3,
Oh yeah,
and some people at work were just like, "Yeah, just come and do this, and then do this. All right, now just follow me through this whole thing." And they're just like killing everything super fast, and I'm like struggling to keep up. And I'm like, "Yeah, that's how you play it now." And I was just like, I don't. So you just kind of grind these levels over and over again. He's like, "Oh yeah, it's the same ones over and over. You just keep doing it, and sometimes you get better gear, but usually you don't."
yeah.
Uh,
Imagine that, but you kill less things, and whenever you do encounter something that you can fight, it kills you. That is Ultima Online playing with John.
all right. That's sounds like a winner.
And he's not in the chat. He's not defending himself right now. He's not defending Ultima Online. He's talking about Fortress still.
Just Dwarf Fortress still going strong, releasing updates to this day. You heard it here, guys. Yeah, I don't know. I tried to get you to play Minecraft the other day.
Yeah, and I would have. I would. My Xbox is right here. If we get like a Minecraft world server going on, then I could definitely like sit here. I could play it on this TV over here, and we can co-stream. You know.
You guys wanna watch us build stuff in Minecraft? We could do it. That is a game I am I'm comfortable with, and I played way too much of when it was in beta, and then it got crazy. But I moved on.
And you know what? You guys can see uh basically what is the core difference between Travis and my uh, creative personalities, where Travis is very like you have a plan and you do structured things, and they're meticulous and they're really great. And then in the background you see me building just a statue of a ghost with no rhyme or reason to it.
we could have a an apathetic enthusiasm server and let people who are fans of the show play on the server. That would actually be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
That would be really cool.
that would be cool. Yes, I agree. I'm a dog.
Oh, I'm a dog. I want to play Minecraft. Yeah,
Minecraft?
maybe that's something I'll look into over the next number of days. Yeah, that we, man, oh, the life we would lead. Uh, Minecraft is like a more primitive dwarf fortress with actual graphics instead of ASCII characters. All right. Mine a dwarf fortress server it is, John. No, it is not. What's your dog's name?
Camila.
Camila.
I didn't name her that. That's what the pound named her. And when we got her from the pound, I asked the family like, do you want to change her name? We can change her name. It could be anything. And the kid was like, let's keep it as Camila. And
You're like, all right, but that's your name too now.
history was born.
Oh, dogs.
Oh,
My
God.
dog is probably sleeping next to my wife because that's pretty much all she does.
Yeah.
And barks at the mailman feverishly.
Oh, my God.
Okay, well, yeah, I guess maybe I'm gonna go set up a Minecraft server now.
All right. All right.
Oh, and to answer your question, Matt, the reason I don't ever use my Xbox. That's why I don't play GTA with you, is because I don't ever use my Xbox. I just don't. I'm sorry.
Sorry, dude.
I just don't. I guess I mean I could. Then I'd have to buy GTA.
Oh wait, Catan in Minecraft. What? Now you're just making shit up, D Squeeze.
Don't you get my hopes up. Don't you dare.
All right.
Don't you toy with my emotions. All right. Shall we raid? Shall we?
Yeah, let's do it. That's great
Who
music.
who can? Oh, we got some channels that we follow that
Oh.
are. Do we actually know any of these people, or were these when you just followed random people?
Oh. No, I didn't follow random people. I followed people that I liked and wanted to follow. Obviously.
Obvi. All right, let's see. If you know of a channel that we should raid right now, let us know. It's on Game Pass. Do I have Game Pass?
I don't know if you do have Game Pass, but you should have Game Pass. If you have an Xbox, if you have Xbox Live,
I do.
then you should have Game Pass because it's only like $5 extra, and then any game that comes out on Game Pass you can download for free and play. And there's a ton of Game Pass games out there that you can check out, uh,
Check it out.
including Grand Theft Auto 5.
5.
Oh, have a good day, Face. Good night, Bess. See you later.
Bye.
Bye, BS. Alex, so this doesn't necessarily apply to you, but what happens over on Twitch is everyone who's watching our video here on Twitch, we basically transfer all you over to somebody that we like or appreciate to watch their stream for a little bit. And eventually we're all like, we don't actually want to talk to you or watch you. We're out of here. But it gives them the self satisfaction of knowing that, well, somebody put a bunch of viewers on my stream. This is fantastic.
Do you know this Marrow 714 guy?
Nope.
Nope.
Send
Nope.
him up.
Let's find a Jackbox channel, guys. Let's find a Jackbox. Who's boxing those jacks?
Oh, who is boxing them jacks?
Oh, Tipsy Tune's back at it.
Oh, Tipsy Tune. I like Tipsy Tune.
Oh, what are you doing with your camera, dude?
I don't know. Look at that. So you see those there's that Rick and Morty painting right there. Those things right there. I don't know, you can't see it. Like that yellow thing. That's actually a Kodak NASCAR. That's Ernie Irvan. Now, if you're a NASCAR fan from the mid '90s, you might recognize Ernie Irvan. My dad worked for Kodak back in the day, and well, he collected Ernie Irvan stuff.
All right.
I'm trying to buy you time, or yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
Okay.
Do you want me to go to Tipsy Tune again?
You gotta hurry up before I show morbid things.
Okay. All right.
This
We're
is
just.
my aunt. She died earlier this year.
All right. We're gonna go watch Tipsy Tune, guys. So get ready to raid. I'm about to start it.
This is my facial.
All right, we're out of here. That's gotten off the rails. Have a good night, everybody. Raid will be starting here in about 7 seconds. So have a good night. We will see you soon. Make sure that you're ready for life. Make sure you're ready for when we stream next time. Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody. See you later.